Okay guys, now we're going to move on to the cooking show portion of new consultant training. We're just going to go over a few key items like in your new consultant kit and just kind of give you a little brief description of some of those. We're actually going to be making a recipe, one of our favorites. Wish you guys could smell it and taste it because it's amazing. It's the chocolate chip cookie sundae, and if you want to get the recipe to this, definitely contact myself or Kelly to get it, and we'll be more than happy to send it to you because it's a super easy recipe that you can make in your 8-inch saute pan. And I know you're thinking this looks larger than the 8-inch saute pan, and that is because it is indeed the 10-inch saute pan. I just use this one because I don't have the 8-inch one. And if you do have the 10-inch, just a little suggestion, if you're having a larger party, the 10-inch makes the cookie go a little bit further. I've actually fed up to like 18 people with this one. So it's just all about how you slice it and dice it. So I'm actually going to go into show mode, just like I was going to be doing this recipe at a show, just so you can kind of hear some of the word choices that I use. And feel free to, take some notes on this, write down anything that you want to use. And then I'm going to just do the recipe, get it in the oven just like I normally would, and then we'll move on and talk about a few other items in your new consultant kit. So, hello everybody, we're going to be making the fajitas and chocolate chip cookie sundae today. I want to start off first by getting our chocolate chip cookie sundae in the oven because it takes about 20 minutes and we can get our fajitas ready to go while that's cooking. So what we're going to actually do is we're going to be using our 10-inch saute pan, and it's our non-stick cookware. And I have to tell you, I got this pan kind of like as a test me piece, so I could kind of give it a try, and decide whether or not, I loved it, or if maybe the non-stick was for me, or if I wanted to try the stainless. Well, needless to say, I bought the 10-inch saute pan and proceeded to cook everything I possibly made in this small little 10-inch saute pan for about 6 months. My husband thought I was crazy. He's like, "You're making spaghetti in that little pan?" And I'm like, "You don't understand. It cooks so much better than everything else that I have." So it has 2 different metals that actually create an amazing heat distribution that makes all of your food cook super evenly. So I don't know about you, but I previously had pans where they had hot spots. Where it would be done over here and still raw over here, and you'd have to like push your food around, and it never finishes at the same time. Well, this heats up all the way through the tip of the pan completely. So your food is always done at the same time and cooks so much quicker. Another thing that I absolutely love about this pan is the flared rim. So when you're pouring like the grease out of your pan or something like that, and then you want to return it to the stove, you don't have to worry about it dribbling down the side and then scalding onto your stove, because it ran down the side. Another thing that's really awesome is that it's non-stick all the way to the end. So if for some reason you do get a little bit of something on the side, it's going to be super easy to clean up, just as easy as the inside because it's non-stick. Another really cool feature is that it's riveted right to the handle. So I've had those pans before that become like all wobbly and loose, and then it's kind of a little sketchy to pick it up if it has a lot of food in it. Well, this is riveted in, so it's not going to go anywhere. And what's great about this pan is you just have to buy it once. It has a lifetime warranty. So these are just a few of my favorite things about our nonstick cookware. Needless to say, I have purchased the whole set now. I don't have to cook all my meals in my 10-inch saute pan. So what we're going to actually do today for our chocolate chip cookie sundae is it's just my favorite is the Pillsbury one, and it's the break apart. It comes in a blue package, and if you leave it out for just a few minutes, maybe like 10 or 15 minutes before you're actually going to use it, it's perfect because it makes it a little bit soft, and you can just plop it right into your pan, and it just comes real loose, and voila. So, one of the other great features that I didn't mention, obviously, is that your nonstick cookware can not only be used on top of the stove, but it can be used in your oven up to 400 degrees. And that's how we're actually going to use it today. Your stainless cookware is good up to 500 degrees in the oven, and the new Easy Release ceramic cookware is also 400 degrees. So what we're going to do is we're going to put it at 375 for 20 minutes, and then it'll be crispy on the outside and ooey gooey delicious on the inside. So we're just going to pop this in the oven and set the timer. Okay, and so that's exactly what I would do on my show, and then I would just move on to talk about the fajitas Wilson, the Deep Covered Baker. A key, like these are some of our higher priced items. So like the cookware, higher priced item. The Deep Covered Baker, higher priced item. You know, if you just have the bar pan stoneware, some of our higher priced items. You want to pick out your higher priced items that you're using in your show and talk about those in the first 20 minutes because you have the attention of your customers the most, like they're the most engaged in the first 20 minutes. So that's where you really want to talk about your cookware, your Deep Covered Baker. So I hit them with the cookware with this recipe and then turn around and just go right into the Deep Covered Baker. So, you know, you want to pick out your higher price items and just talk about those. So, like if I was at my show, I would typically talk about the Deep Covered Baker, but I know everybody has the large bar pan. And you can see mine's pretty seasoned here. I use it pretty often. So if I was going to be talking about this at my show, this is just a little kind of blurb that I would maybe do. So show mode, I would just be like, okay, I want to tell you guys just a little bit about stoneware. It is just the workhorse of the kitchen. This is a large bar pan, and we like to call it the all-day pan because you can use it all day to make recipes for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Okay, I don't know about you, but whenever I make pancakes, I'm always the last person to eat because I make everybody else's, and you can only make so many pancakes on your griddle at once. Well, imagine making your pancake batter, pouring it into your large bar pan, 375, and when you smell it, it's done. And then you just cut them into perfect squares and everybody eats at the same time. It's amazing. And that's kind of the key with your bar pan. If you're not sure how long to cook it, the key is when you smell it, it's usually done. So when we start, well, this isn't in, but when you start to smell the cookie as well, you can know that it's kind of done, even when you do cookies on here. So, okay, we'll move on to lunch. So you want to do grilled cheese and you want to do soup, again with your grilled cheese. Nobody eats at the same time. It's kind of like, here's yours, and everybody's like, I want mine, you know. So imagine your grilled cheese. You can do 6 grilled cheeses on here all at once. You've got, they're 20 minutes and they're done. You don't even have to flip them. They'll be crispy on the top and crispy on the bottom because of the stoneware. Move on to dinner. You could do like a fabulous pizza. I have a great recipe file for that. It's called Pick a Pizza, so you can decide what kind of pizza you want to try. Or you can have a dump night where you do fries, nuggets, fish sticks, and they just cook so much better and crisp up so much better when they're cooked on your stoneware. The stoneware is kind of like a cast iron skillet, so you want to create this dark brown seasoning. If you're starting to look like that, that's what you're wanting to achieve. It's creating a non-stick surface. So you don't want to try to scrub that off because it's not going to come off. So if you do happen to use a little bit of soap on it, it's not the end of the world, but what's going to happen is it's going to break down this nice dark seasoning that you've achieved. So you want to stay away from soap and just use hot water to clean it. And it's not a porous surface, so you don't have to worry about, making fish sticks on it and then turning around and making cookies and having fish stick cookies. It's not going to happen. Because your food flavors aren't going to transfer. And you don't have to worry about cross-contamination either. You could make chicken and then you could turn around and make cake and not worry about, the chicken juices transferring to your cake because, again, non-porous. And then one of the other great things about all Pampered Chef stoneware is they're all marked right here on the back, made in the USA. And so because it's made in the USA, you can know that it's lead-free. A lot of the other stonewares that are bought at like Bed Bath & Beyond, they're made in other countries where they don't have lead regulations. So there could definitely be traces of lead in them. So that's just one of the great parts, knowing that your Pampered Chef stoneware is made here and is absolutely lead-free. So that's just some of the things that I would say about stoneware in general. And these were just specific to the bar pan, but some of those general stoneware things I would definitely say about the Deep Covered Baker as well. Okay. So we're going to move on. Another thing that you get in your new consultant kit is my very favorite grater, the new Coarse Microplane grater. And just so you guys know how to use it, it will come flat, can be stored that way. It has your little clear plastic piece on it. There's a little tiny arrow on the back that points this direction. So you have to actually push it this direction.
I'm going to zoom in so they can watch it.
Okay, so you just want to push it this direction, and then it goes to 2 different ways. So you can go angled here, or you can go all the way flat. So it can be done, a couple different ways. And Kenda, I just want to have you do it just so you know when you get yours how to kind of work it there. There you go. Because I've definitely had customers call me and be like, I really want to use this grater, but I don't know how to get it open, you know, so just to make sure. And I always, whenever I use it at a show and people are excited about it or I see that they're ordering it, I make sure to point that out so that they don't have that same problem. And just a little tip that I love whenever I'm using this at a show, it fits perfectly across the batter bowl. So you can just set it right on top of the batter bowl, that grabs it right here, and then you can just quickly grate your cheese, like in your bowl if you're doing cheese. So that's just one of the other tools that comes in there. And then we're actually going to use the new Simple Slicer to cut up some cucumbers, and I'm actually going to have you help me as well. I'll do one and then you can do one. And just so people have a better idea of how to use it, I love the Simple Slicer. It's just 3 easy pieces, so you have your different measurements here. So locked position is how you want to store it. Super safe. You can run your hand across it because it's all the way flush. It's not going to cut you. One I usually use when I'm making the potato slices to do the potato chips for the potato chip maker. If you want something like super thin, typically I use it though mainly on 2, like we'll do the cucumbers on 2 today, or you can do them on 3 if you want it to be a little bit more crispy and thicker. But 2 is a great all-purpose for like onions, tomatoes, carrots, like anything that you might be doing. And so you'll just slide your, I call it the sleigh, right on to your Simple Slicer. And then you're going to use your food holder. And I cut these into 3 pieces because we could have left it as one big cucumber, but you would have been trying to slice it like up here. So to keep good like control over it, you want to cut it into like 3 pieces, so they're about this big and you have a little bit more control over it. So what we're going to do is you're going to place your hand kind of underneath the bowl until it goes flush with this piece, then you'll put your hand over top of it and continue to slice. So we'll just get going and you'll see that it goes, and see how this is flush down here now. So then we'll transfer our hand to the bowl and keep applying the pressure. And then usually when a piece sticks like that, it means you're all done. And we have some beautiful slices of cucumber there. Okay. Do you want to give it a whirl? Sure. Okay. Do you want to wash your hands really fast? Okay. Cool.
Technical difficulties.
I think I can put that.
Oh my gosh. So sorry.
Okay. So I'll just give that to you. Okay. So then just lift up. Yeah, and just kind of, yeah, get serious with it. There you go. Bigger stroke. Okay. So now you're kind of flush. So then just move your hand over the bowl and apply the pressure. Okay. You should be done. Yeah. See? Usually when one sticks, you're all good. Want to do the other one? Just to get more comfortable with it.
The watermelon works the same way?
The mandolin? Mm-hmm. Yeah, same concept where, you know, you have your food and then you do the holder. Okay, awesome. And just be really careful when your one little piece comes out there. You don't want to stick your hand next to the blade. It's a bad idea. And then I always just put it in lock position and then throw it in my sink so that I don't forget. And it can go just right on the top shelf of your dishwasher. So we have our cucumbers. We'll have those as a little snack. Okay. Let me see.